Unfriendly environment. Once, an unusual and slightly amusing problem arose in the Berlin Zoo. Tigers refused to breed. Experienced veterinarians examined the animals and found no illnesses. They studied the tigers' diet, feeding schedule, and living conditions. Everything was fine. They even investigated the pedigrees of their striped patients. Were there any individuals with similar deviations among their parents? Nothing similar was found. The zoo staff had already given up, but then someone from the staff suggested changing the animals' feeding schedule, feeding them not every day, but every other day. In other words, adding a little stress to the full and measured tiger life. Perhaps the paradise conditions, the absence of stress and competition, abundant food, and spacious enclosures, turned predators into apathetic and lethargic impotence. To the surprise of many, that turned out to be correct. After spending a week on such a diet, the tigers returned to spousal duties. Tell me, does this story remind you of anything? European scientists have long been sounding the alarm about the growing demographic crisis in Europe. The native population is decreasing every year, while the number of migrants arriving from North Africa and Central Asia is constantly increasing. As a result, ethnic conflicts are becoming more and more frequent. The blame is not only on poorly thought-out laws but, above all, on the low birth rate of local aborigines on the one hand and the high birth rate of newcomers on the other. The firsts reluctantly decide to have offspring due to overly favorable living conditions, while the last try to have as many children as possible due to the lack of external comfort. A strange thing, isn't it? We all strive for a carefree and pleasant life, put a lot of effort and work into ensuring good conditions for ourselves, but when we finally achieve what we want, we suddenly face new and unexpected problems. And it turns out that there are not so few of them. Here is an interesting fact. According to statistics, in the 1980s, about half of the marriages in Europe ended in divorce after 4 years. A quarter of a century later, after 4 years, 7 marriages out of 10 were breaking up. That's almost 2/3. What are the reasons? Some might say, a new generation has arrived, traditions have changed, the world has become faster. All of this is true, but at the same time, it cannot be denied, the quality of life for Europeans has noticeably improved over the past quarter of a century. And that means, I hope you have already guessed what it means. Yes, such is the paradox of life. The better life is, the weaker and more vulnerable a person becomes. The well-known Austrian biologist Konrad Lorenz observed 2 groups of storks for a year. One group of birds was given the most favorable conditions for life, without worries, predators, with an abundance of diverse food. The other group of birds had to struggle for survival every day, finding food, building nests, escaping from predators. Very soon, birds from the first group began to throw eggs out of nests, quarrel, and even fight. Spouses who previously created lifelong partnerships began to break up. Among birds from the second group, which was forced to exert a lot of effort just to survive, none of these phenomena were observed. This fact, you would agree, is interesting and thought-provoking. But what do scientists think about it? In the middle of the last century, English biologist Peter Medawar, Nobel laureate, proposed a hypothesis according to which organisms living in an unfriendly environment develop faster than organisms whose lives and health are not threatened. Not long ago, scientists from the University of California confirmed this hypothesis. Researchers conducted a series of experiments with guppy fish in aquariums. Observations showed that fish living in aquariums with a large number of predators developed faster, reproduced more actively, moved faster, and reached larger sizes. Moreover, such fish lived longer than their happy relatives living in absolutely safe aquariums. Thanks for watching. Like this video and subscribe to the channel.